The natural world, in all its breathtaking complexity, never truly ceases to surprise us. Just when we believe we have grasped the fundamental rules that govern life on our planet, a new observation, a fresh discovery, emerges from the wilderness to challenge our most basic assumptions. These moments are precious, for they remind us that the grand tapestry of life is woven with threads of infinite variety and ingenuity. They shake the very foundations of our understanding of animal behavior, revealing a world far more intricate and nuanced than we could ever have imagined. Today I invite you to join me on a deep dive into 10 of the most bizarre and fascinating animal behaviors uncovered in recent years. We shall journey from the sun-drenched savannas to the mysterious depths of the ocean, exploring phenomena that blur the lines between instinct and intelligence, survival and strategy. We will witness capuchin monkeys engaging in the shocking act of kidnapping infants from other species, and octopuses, those masters of camouflage, deliberately throwing punches and projectiles at their neighbors. These are not just curiosities, they are windows into the minds of other creatures. So prepare yourself for an expedition into the untamed corners of the animal kingdom. This is a journey where the expected gives way to the extraordinary, where instinct meets astonishing intelligence, and where the stories of survival are stranger than any fiction. Stay with us as we uncover the secrets of a world that is and always will be full of wonder. In the moonlit grasslands of South Africa, a drama of survival unfolds every night. Here, ancient predator-prey relationships have been honed over millennia. Yet even in this timeless arena, new and bewildering strategies can emerge. This is the story of the small spotted genet, a creature whose recent behavior has left scientists utterly captivated. It is a tale of an unlikely partnership, a mystery that challenges our understanding of how animals navigate their perilous world. The genet, a slender, cat-like carnivore, is both hunter and hunted. Agile and nocturnal, it typically forages on the ground for small rodents and insects. But here in the Hlulua Imfolozi Park, something extraordinary has been documented. Genets have been observed climbing onto the backs of some of the continent's largest and most formidable herbivores, buffalo and white rhinoceros. Perched high above the ground, they are chauffeured through the savannah, like diminutive cowboys riding their colossal steeds. What could possibly be the reason for this audacious behavior? One compelling theory is that it is a clever anti-predator strategy. From this elevated vantage point, the genet is far safer from its own terrestrial enemies, such as lions and hyenas. The sheer size and formidable nature of its chosen mount provides a formidable shield. The genet, it seems, has learned to leverage the strength of a giant for its own protection, a remarkable feat of opportunism. Furthermore, this animal-backed riding may offer other benefits. As the great herbivores graze, they disturb insects and small animals from the grass, flushing them out directly into the path of the waiting genet. It becomes a mobile hunting platform, a traveling buffet. The energy saved from not having to patrol the ground is significant, allowing the genet to conserve precious resources in this competitive environment. It is a strategy that is both defensive and offensive, a masterstroke of efficiency. This behavior remains exceptionally rare and is still being studied. Is it a learned skill, passed down from one genet to another? Or is it an act of individual genius, a spark of innovation in the mind of a single, clever animal? Whatever the answer, the sight of a genet riding a rhino through the African night is a powerful reminder that in the wild, the rulebook is constantly being rewritten. It is a testament to the boundless creativity that evolution inspires. The California ground squirrel. For many, it evokes an image of a harmless forager, its cheeks puffed with nuts and seeds, scurrying frantically to store its winter provisions. They are, by all traditional definitions, herbivores, their lives dictated by the seasonal availability of plants. But in the arid landscapes they call home, where resources can be scarce and competition fierce, a much darker, more predatory nature has recently come to light. Scientists observing these squirrels were astounded to witness behavior that defied everything they knew. They documented instances of California ground squirrels actively hunting, killing and consuming grasshopper mice, fierce carnivorous rodents in their own right. This was not mere scavenging of a carcass, it was a deliberate predatory act. The The squirrels, creatures we associated with peaceful foraging, were transforming into calculated hunters before their very eyes. The motivation behind this shocking dietary shift is likely complex and multifaceted. One possibility is that it is a direct response to extreme environmental pressures. During periods of drought or resource scarcity, the squirrels may be forced to seek alternative sources of nutrition. The grasshopper mouse, rich in protein, becomes a viable, if unexpected, meal. It is a stark illustration of how survival instincts can override typical dietary preferences when conditions become desperate. Another theory points towards territorial competition. Grasshopper mice are aggressive and can compete with squirrels for burrows and other resources. By eliminating a rival, the squirrel not only gains a meal but also secures its territory. This suggests a level of strategic thinking far beyond simple foraging. The act of predation becomes a tool for resource management, a brutal but effective way of maintaining control over its small patch of the world. This behavior forces us to reconsider the neat labels we so often apply to animals. The line between herbivore and carnivore, it seems, can be surprisingly fluid. The California ground squirrel demonstrates that behavior is not static. It is a dynamic and adaptable response to the ever-changing challenges of the environment. It is a chilling reminder that even the most seemingly familiar creatures can hold deep, dark secrets. In the shallow turquoise waters of Shark Bay, Australia, lives a community of bottlenose dolphins with a unique and remarkable culture. These intelligent marine mammals are known for their complex social lives and problem-solving abilities. But one group here has taken ingenuity to a whole new level. They have developed a tool-using tradition, a skill passed down through generations that sets them apart from dolphins anywhere else in the world. The behavior is known as sponging. A dolphin will locate a marine sponge on the seabed, carefully detach it, and then fit it over its rostrum or beak. Wearing this spongy helmet, the dolphin then proceeds to forage along the seafloor, probing the sand and rubble for small fish. The sponge acts as a protective glove, shielding its sensitive snout from sharp rocks, coral, and the spines of venomous creatures like stonefish that may be hiding in the sediment. What is truly fascinating is that this is not an innate, instinctual behavior. It is a learned skill, a form of cultural transmission. Researchers have observed that the practice is passed almost exclusively from mothers to their calves. A young dolphin will watch its mother meticulously, learning how to select the right kind of sponge, how to wear it correctly, and how to use it effectively to unearth hidden prey. It is a clear example of teaching and learning in a non-human species. This sponging culture provides a profound insight into cetacean intelligence. It demonstrates not only the ability to use tools, a hallmark of higher cognition, but also the capacity for social learning and the formation of traditions. The dolphins of Shark Bay have, in essence, created their own unique solution to a local problem, and they have ensured its continuation by passing the knowledge down to their young. It is a behavior born of necessity and nurtured by intelligence. Studying these sponges allows us to see that culture is not an exclusively human phenomenon. It exists in the ocean's depths, in the minds of these remarkable dolphins. Their spongy shields are more than just tools. They are symbols of a rich and complex social heritage, a testament to the power of shared knowledge in the animal kingdom, and a window into the evolution of intelligence itself. High in the breathtaking Bale Mountains of Ethiopia lives one of the world's rarest and most specialized carnivores, the Ethiopian wolf. A slender, elegant canid with a striking red coat, it is perfectly adapted to this high-altitude environment. Its primary survival strategy revolves around a single prey source, the giant mole rat, which it hunts with patience and precision in the alpine grasslands. But in this singular focus on hunting, the wolf plays another, entirely unintentional role in its ecosystem. The landscape here is dotted with the strange and beautiful giant lobelia, a plant that can grow to several meters in height, resembling a floral sentinel on the mountainside. These plants rely on pollinators to reproduce, and while insects and birds play their part, the Ethiopian wolf has emerged as a surprising and significant contributor. As the wolves patrol their territories, their movements are not random. They are dictated by the hunt. They often stalk their prey near the base of these giant lobelia plants where rodents frequently hide. As a wolf moves through the vegetation, its fur brushes against the flowers, picking up sticky pollen. It then carries this pollen with it on its hunt, moving from one lobelia patch to another. As it investigates another plant for potential prey, the pollen is transferred, effectively fertilizing the flower. The hunter has become an unwitting gardener. This is a classic example of what biologists call accidental pollination. The wolf has no interest in the flowers themselves. Its actions are driven solely by the quest for food, yet its behavior has a profound and positive impact on the plant's life cycle. It is a beautiful illustration of the intricate and often invisible connections that bind an ecosystem together. The survival of the wolf and the reproduction of the plant have become unexpectedly intertwined. The story of the Ethiopian wolf and the giant lobelia reminds us that an animal's role in its environment can be far more complex than it first appears. Every action, no matter how focused, can have unintended consequences that ripple through the web of life. The wolf, in its relentless pursuit of rodents, inadvertently ensures the continuation of the very flowers that beautify its mountain home, a delicate and accidental symbiosis written across the Ethiopian highlands. The St. Lawrence River in Canada is a world away from the icy waters of the high Arctic, the traditional home of the narwhal. Known as the unicorns of the sea for the male's long, spiraling tusk, narwhals are creatures of the pack ice, exquisitely adapted to a frozen realm. So, when a lone young narwhal was spotted hundreds of miles south of its normal range, swimming amongst a pod of beluga whales, it presented a profound and touching mystery. This solitary narwhal was not just coexisting with the belugas, it appeared to have been fully accepted into their social group. For years, researchers have observed it traveling with the pod, engaging in social behaviors, and even vocalizing in a manner that mimics the chirps and whistles of its adopted family. It seems to have learned the language and customs of a completely different species in its quest for companionship. The reasons why this individual narwhal found itself so far from home remain unknown. It may have been separated from its own pod, lost during migration, or simply an adventurous outlier. Whatever the cause, its survival depended on finding a new social structure. The belugas, its close evolutionary cousins, offered a lifeline. Their acceptance of this stranger speaks volumes about the capacity for social bonding and empathy in cetaceans. This unique situation raises fascinating questions about identity and adaptation. The narwhal appears to be thriving, demonstrating remarkable behavioral plasticity. It has bridged a species gap, forming deep social bonds that have allowed it to survive. Does it see itself as a beluga? How has this cross-species integration affected its own development and understanding of the world? These are questions that challenge our rigid definitions of species boundaries. The story of the St. Lawrence narwhal is a poignant tale of resilience, adaptation, and the powerful universal need for community. It shows that in the vast and often lonely ocean, family can sometimes be found in the most unexpected of places. This lone unicorn swimming amongst its white whale companions is a living symbol of an extraordinary and heartwarming bond that transcends species. Orcas, or killer whales, are the apex predators of the ocean. They are renowned for their intelligence, their complex social structures, and their formidable hunting prowess. Their lives are governed by strict matriarchal lines and deep family bonds. It was therefore an astonishing sight when, off the coast of Iceland, scientists observed something that seemed to defy all logic: a female orca tenderly caring for a newborn pilot whale. This was not an isolated incident. Similar cases of orcas apparently adopting pilot whale calves have been noted in different parts of the world. In these instances, the female orca treats the calf as her own, nudging it to the surface to breathe, protecting it, and keeping it close within the pod. The pilot whale calf, in turn, seems to accept the orca as its mother, swimming alongside the giant predator in a display of interspecies care. The motivation behind this behavior is a subject of intense debate among marine biologists. One theory suggests it is a manifestation of a powerful maternal instinct, perhaps in a female who has lost her own calf. The drive to nurture is so strong that it extends beyond the boundaries of her own species. This mismothering could be an expression of grief or a simple biological imperative to care for a helpless infant. Another, more complex theory involves social learning and play. Young female orcas are known to practice their maternal skills on objects and sometimes on the calves of other species. This babysitting could be a form of training for motherhood. However, the long-term nature of some of these adoptions suggests something deeper than mere practice. It points to a genuine, albeit unusual, social bond forming between the two animals. Whatever the reason, be it misplaced maternal care, a form of social practice, or something we do not yet understand, the sight of an orca nurturing a pilot whale calf is profoundly moving. It challenges our perception of these animals as purely ruthless hunters and reveals a softer, more complex emotional world. It is a puzzle that reminds us that even the ocean's greatest predator can be driven by instincts that are, at their core, surprisingly tender. In the dense rainforests of Central and South America, Capuchin monkeys are, famous for their remarkable intelligence and dexterity. They use tools, solve complex problems, and live in these highly organized social groups. But recent observations have revealed a far more brutal and disturbing side to their nature, a behavior so violent and unusual that it's really shocked primatologists, the kidnapping and killing of infants from another species, the howler monkey. The attacks are honestly swift, coordinated, and terrifyingly deliberate. A group of male capuchins will target a troop of howler monkeys, creating chaos and confusion. In the ensuing panic, one capuchin will snatch a howler infant directly from its mother's back. The kidnapped infant is then carried away, often being, brutally killed by the capuchins. It is an act of extreme interspecies violence that seems to serve no immediate survival purpose, like predation for food. Scientists are struggling to understand the evolutionary driver behind this horrifying behavior. One hypothesis is that it's an extreme form of male-male competition and display. By carrying out such a daring and aggressive raid, the male capuchins may be demonstrating their strength and fitness to the females in their own group. The kidnapped infant becomes a gruesome trophy, a symbol of power and dominance in their complex social hierarchy. Another possibility is that it is a misdirected, maybe even pathological form of infanticide. In many primate species, males will kill infants within their own group to bring the females back into estrus more quickly. So it's conceivable that this instinct has somehow been twisted and redirected towards another, more vulnerable species. It could even be a rare, culturally transmitted behavior, a dark tradition passed down within a particular group of capuchins. This behavior is a stark and unsettling window into the primate world. It forces us to confront the reality that animal behavior is not always, benign or easily explained. The capuchin's act of kidnapping is a chilling example of how intelligence can be used for purposes that appear to us to be purely malevolent. It is a dark puzzle, a reminder that the jungle holds behaviors that are as disturbing as they are fascinating. In a reptile enclosure at a zoo in Costa Rica, a female American crocodile had lived in solitude for 16 years. She had never been in contact with a male, so in 2018, when zookeepers discovered a clutch of 14 eggs in her enclosure, they were honestly baffled. It seemed impossible. Yet one of those eggs was found to contain a fully formed, though non-viable, fetus. This discovery would send ripples through the scientific community. The crocodile had reproduced without a mate. This phenomenon, known as parthenogenesis or virgin birth, is known to occur in some species of birds, lizards and sharks, but it had never before been documented in a crocodilian. Analysis of the fetus confirmed that it was genetically identical to its mother, containing no male DNA. It was a true virgin birth, a biological miracle that rewrites a chapter of reptile evolution. Parthenogenesis is essentially a form of asexual reproduction where an unfertilized egg develops into an embryo. It is often seen as a last-ditch evolutionary strategy. For a female in isolation, unable to find a mate, it offers a way to pass on her genes to the next generation. While the offspring are not as genetically diverse as those from sexual reproduction, it is better than not reproducing at all. The discovery has profound implications for our understanding of deep evolutionary history. Crocodilians and birds share a common ancestor with the dinosaurs. Since both groups are now known to be capable of parthenogenesis, it is highly probable that some dinosaurs also possessed this remarkable ability. It conjures an incredible image. A lone female Tyrannosaurus or Triceratops laying fertile eggs in a world without a mate. The case of this solitary crocodile has opened a new door into the past, offering a glimpse into the reproductive strategies of creatures long extinct. It is a testament to the resilience of life and the incredible latent abilities that can lie dormant within an animal's genetic code, just waiting for the right circumstances to emerge. It shows that even an animal we think we know so well can still hold ancient, astonishing secrets. The octopus is a solitary genius of the deep, a master of camouflage and escape with a famously complex nervous system. We have long known they are intelligent, but we have tended to view them as isolated beings. However, observations from Jervis Bay in Australia have revealed a surprisingly social and rather feisty side to these creatures. Octopuses, it turns out, have been filmed deliberately throwing things at each other. This is not an accidental flick of a tentacle. The behavior is methodical. An octopus will gather silt, algae or shells, hold the material in its arms and then use its siphon, a jet of water normally used for propulsion, to forcefully launch the projectiles at another octopus. The throw is aimed and appears to be intentional. In some cases, the target octopus will even duck or raise an arm to block the incoming debris. The context of these underwater altercations suggests they are a form of social interaction. The throwing often occurs during disputes over dens or in response to unwanted advances from another octopus. Females, in particular, were observed throwing things at males who were being overly persistent in their mating attempts. It seems to be a clear non-verbal way of saying back off, a form of protest or personal space enforcement. This discovery is significant because it suggests a higher level of cognitive awareness than previously attributed to these invertebrates. To throw an object at a specific target requires forethought, planning, and an understanding of cause and effect. It blurs the line between reflexive action and intentional communication. The octopuses are not just reacting, they are acting, using their environment as a tool to influence the behavior of others. The throwing octopus of Jervis Bay adds another layer to the mystique of these incredible animals. It paints a picture of a creature that is not only intelligent, but also has a social life filled with disputes, signals, and perhaps even a sense of indignation. It is a behavior that feels remarkably familiar, a reminder that the drive to communicate and set boundaries is a powerful force, even for an 8-armed inhabitant of the silent deep. Elephants are known for their profound intelligence, their deep emotional bonds, and their complex methods of communication. Their low-frequency rumbles can travel for miles, carrying messages across the savannah. For decades, we have known they communicate, but a groundbreaking new study suggests their language is even more sophisticated than we ever imagined. Elephants, it appears, may use the equivalent of individual names. Researchers studying elephant herds in Kenya noticed that when one elephant vocalized, sometimes only a single, specific individual in the herd would respond, while others ignored the call. It was as if the call was addressed to them personally. Using machine learning to analyze thousands of elephant calls, the scientists made a stunning discovery. The calls contained specific vocal labels that were consistently associated with particular recipients. This is not simply mimicry, where an elephant copies the call of another to get its attention. Instead, it seems they create unique arbitrary sounds, like names, to refer to one another. When the researchers played back a recorded name call, the specific elephant associated with that sound would respond enthusiastically, approaching the speaker, while other elephants showed little interest. It is the first evidence of non-human animals using name-like labels for each other without imitation. This ability suggests an incredible capacity for abstract thought. To invent a sound and assign it to a specific individual requires a sophisticated understanding of identity, that you are you and I am I. It is a cornerstone of complex language and a trait once thought to be uniquely human. It allows for a level of communication that is precise and nuanced, enabling elephants to coordinate their movements and maintain their intricate social networks. This discovery elevates our understanding of these gentle giants to a new plane. They are not just communicating general warnings or greetings. They are having specific conversations, addressing each other as individuals. It confirms what many who work closely with them have long suspected, that elephants possess a deep, rich inner world of thought and social connection. They call each other by name, a simple but profound revelation that forever changes how we see the mind of an elephant. As our journey comes to a close, it is clear that the animal kingdom is a realm of endless astonishment. From the genet's clever ride to the elephant's secret name, each story we have explored reveals a world brimming with behaviors that challenge our assumptions and expand our sense of what is possible. These are not just random quirks, they are elegant adaptations, brilliant innovations, and desperate acts of survival, each one a testament to the incredible resilience and creativity of life. These discoveries do more than just add to our scientific knowledge, they deepen our connection to the other beings who share our planet. They serve as a powerful reminder that animals are not simple, instinct-driven automatons. They are thinkers, feelers, problem solvers, and, in their own way, rule breakers. They possess complex social lives, cultures, and perhaps even a consciousness that we are only just beginning to comprehend. The world is so much richer for their presence. The quest to understand these mysteries is ongoing, and there are countless more secrets waiting to be uncovered in the wild. If this journey into the extraordinary has sparked your curiosity, please like, share, and subscribe to. Join us for more incredible discoveries. The natural world is the greatest story ever told, and there is always another chapter to explore. See you in the next adventure.